Coach Rodney Hennon about to enter year 20 here at Georgia Southern. You think back to the summer of 1999 when Sam Baker hired you to come to Statesboro. You're still here. You've had the success that you've had. What's been the key to all that?
Well, gosh, Danny, I tell you, one thing about Georgia Southern, and I understood that 20 years ago when I took this job. Baseball's always been important here. You think back to what Coach Stallings accomplished and 24 years here. So when you think about that, it's 44 years now with two coaches. And I think that's just a testament to Georgia Southern and to this community and to the support that the baseball program has had for so many years. And I've just been very blessed to be a part of it. I absolutely love what I do. I enjoy being able to come down to the field and work with kids at this age. For me, as a student athlete years ago, those were some of the most exciting and best times of my life at that age, and to still play a role in that is something that is very special to me. And the fact that personally for our family to be a part of this community means a lot, and the support that we have gotten for these many years just makes Statesboro and Georgia Southern a special place to be.
What did you learn from Coach Stallings about what it takes to win here?
Well, it takes a lot of hard work, to do it consistently over the years, and to just he kind of was steady, from what I observed, being in the other dugout for a few years, and from what I know about him, he never got too high, never got too low, and always was true to himself and what he believed in, and certainly was a great teacher of the game, and I think that part was very important to him. To not only teach his players the game of baseball, but also, have that transferred over into their lives as well.
As the longest tenured coach on this campus, how have you seen Statesboro grow since the summer of 1999?
Oh gosh, I tell you, it's amazing how campus has changed. Obviously, the growth of the town, but campus has changed so much. The growth of our athletic department over the years has been amazing, and to be a part of that and see how that has changed and evolved is pretty special.
So many amazing moments. 5 tournament championships, 6 NCAA regionals. You're probably going to win your 700th all-time game here at some point during 2019. But as you think back over all those wins, all those losses, all those experiences, which ones truly stick out?
Well, certainly, the championships are always special. Unfortunately, some of the games that stick out in my mind are some of the heartbreakers that you lose over the years, the ones that you think back, well, what could I have done differently here or there? But I hate to single out any one team, any one moment. I think certainly the first one will always be very special because it is the first. And that group overcame a lot of adversity to position themselves to win a championship. But for me, the way I view each team and each season, at the end of the day, you want to feel like when the season ends and whenever that last out is made, if you've been able to get the very most out of what you have on that given year, that's a very rewarding feeling. And hopefully that, culminates in a championship, but it doesn't always happen that way. And there have been some teams here that maybe didn't win a conference championship, maybe didn't go a regional, that I've been very proud of as well, because I felt like they really laid it on the line, and we got a lot out of them.
What kind of legacy do you tell your players that they should want to leave at Georgia Southern?
Well, I want them to understand that we're all a part of something that is much bigger than us. That this program is special. This program means a lot to a lot of people that came before us. And I always want our players to understand that. I want them to take a tremendous amount of pride in wearing that GS on their hat and being able to come and compete. And I think our kids understand that, and also make them understand that they have the opportunity each year with each team to kind of write their own chapter in that story. But, heck, a guy that I played with or played against years ago, Mike Miller, brought his son down to camp just a couple of weeks ago. And Mike is one of the guys I played against, knew all about him. In fact, I was joking with him. I remember him over in Old College Park hitting one off the light pole in left field that I think our shortstop in the tournament picked it up out in shallow left field. I mean, Mike could really hit. But I had never met Mike, and had his son in camp just a few weeks ago, and I had a chance to kind of show him around the facility, and it was pretty neat. You could tell how special it was to him to be back on campus, and you could also tell that it was special for his son, to be out there playing on the field that his dad played on. And so to me, that's the great thing about this program. And I certainly hope our players that are here now and the ones that have played will always appreciate that.
I know how much pride that you and the staff take in not just working with players, but developing them as people. And then when you get a chance to catch up with them once their days here are concluded, how much pride and how much importance do you place on who they become as people?
Well, that means a lot, I think, to any coach. Anybody that's in this profession, I think that's certainly something that is probably most rewarding. And I think we're very fortunate here that we're at an institution where we get the support from our administration. It's not just about the support. We're focused on these young men and young women in this department getting their degrees, but also developing them as leaders and preparing them for life after college. And we get great support here for that. And certainly athletics, I think we all know there's so many life lessons that you learn from being a part of a team and going through adversity, which is always going to happen, in athletics, and to see guys move on and be successful. And now those guys that I coached 20 years ago, when I see them, when they come back, they're coming back with their kids and families. So that's pretty special. Jason Heinley comes to mind, a guy that was on that first team. Great story. Jason was here part of the program when I took the job, actually walked onto the team and made the team under Coach Stallings the year before, and then was a guy that played a key role in some of our championship teams, but just dropped in on a late Sunday afternoon a couple of weeks ago with his two boys and being able to show his two boys around and say, hey, this is where Dad played. That's always pretty special and rewarding.
At what point in your career did you realize how important it was to develop relationships?
Well, for me, I've been blessed to be around a lot of great men that mentored me, that I played under. Going back to high school, growing up in Dalton, I had a tremendous amount of respect for my high school coaches, both my football coaches and my head baseball coach. And then when I went to Western Carolina and played for two outstanding coaches, but even better men, in Jack Leggett and Keith LeClaire, I understood real quick when I became a part of that program that it wasn't just about baseball. They were tough on us. They were very demanding. There was a high standard, but they loved us. They cared about us, and they wanted us to be successful beyond the baseball field. And so I've been very fortunate.
Thinking back to when you first got this job, did you have any idea of how long you wanted to be here, or where you would be in 5, 10, 15, or at this point, where you'd be in 20 years in 2019?
I think personally, one thing that has been, special to me, one, I never had to move as a kid, and having 3 kids for them to be able to grow up in this community, has been important to our family, and to be at a place again where we get the support that we get here, and you can't be consistent without support and without a group effort, and to me that's what it's all about with our program. It's not any one person, it's not any one player, it's a collective effort, and I'm just very thankful that we've had that support.
Coach, best of luck not only in this year, your 20th year, but also in the years that you'll be here after that.
Thank you, Danny.